Alright, we'll try this again here. So welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the My Bariatric Solutions 300 at Texas Motor Speedway for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. The actual Xfinity race is going on right now. I have it playing live on my phone next to me. They've got about 30 laps to go, so we'll get into that one. For whatever reason, my mobile hotspot was not working for me there, so we got the regular Wi-Fi on. If this doesn't work, I don't know what to do here. So it was very weird that the mobile hotspot wasn't working very properly, I guess, in a sense. So qualified 29th, we did get qualifying in, but we are still waiting, of course, for the race. And give me one quick second to plug my phone in to make sure it doesn't die, so I could at least glance over when needed. Alright, so Ghost Destroyer, Braden Thompson, welcome to the stream. Alright, so one quick mention as well. So I started going into that before the start of the last race, but then for whatever reason we got the black screen of doom. So that's why we had to restart the stream. But anyway, so NASCAR Thunder 2004 was supposed to start on the channel yesterday. Adapter for it. The HD60 Pro Elgato adapter does not work for PS3/PS2, so I had to get an S Plus. Best Buy didn't have an S Plus. Walmart didn't have an S Plus. They had to order more. Like, they were all out of stock. So they had to order more. They said it was going to be a few days at least, that I'd likely be able to pick it up by Tuesday. Well, problem is even though I could pick it up Tuesday, I work Tuesday and I don't get off of work until after they close at 6 o'clock. They close at 6. I don't get off of work till 6:30, so I can't pick it up Tuesday, can't pick it up Wednesday, and then Thursday next week I leave for Darlington. So I don't know how that's gonna work out exactly. I really wanted to stream that this week, but I feel bad. I let you guys down. I let myself down because I thought that we were going to be streaming. You know, I thought everything was going to be fine, but that was my own fault too. I should have known that a newer, more recent adapter was not going to be compatible for a gaming console that is about 20 years old. So yeah, that was a big mistake there. B, welcome to the stream. So we'll hope to get that going forward again with me going to Darlington for the NASCAR race, leaving middle of next week, and everything else going on. We'll get to it as soon as possible, but trust me, when the series starts, it's going to be awesome, and we're just getting a little bit of a delayed start with it. But we still got more daily streams up until then. Brandon Garcia Vera, welcome to the stream. So we are about to get set here at Texas. Justin Allgaier on the pole for today's race. Does not have a win on this season for the NASCAR Xfinity Series side. Noah Gragson, Jeffrey Earnhardt will be the two drivers starting at the rear of the field. Joshua White, welcome to the stream. Xfinity race looks like ARCA right now. Yeah, I see there's a single file freight train line going on with Colleague Racing dominating the race. But we are getting ready to go. Justin Allgaier leads the field to the green at Texas for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. We're halfway through the regular season after the conclusion of this race today. Chad Fincham almost put a block on Kyle Busch, who had a pretty good start. We did tighten the setup compared to what we had in qualifying. It was just way too loose. And that is why Kyle Busch qualified back in 31st. He's going to have to make his way from middle to the back of the field towards the front. He's still fighting a loose race car into turns 3 and 4 here as we still try to get up to speed. Using the controller here tonight. William Nix, Anthony Hanley, welcome to the stream. Busch is gaining spots right out of the get-go. Tyler Burback, welcome to the stream. And kind of drift up the racetrack just a little bit. He had room. Brandon Brown gave it to him. He was on the, or sorry, Josh Balicki in the 99 gave it to him. So he ran the outside there. 3 wide through turns 1 and 2. I believe that was Alex LeBay going up the middle. What a move by LeBay. Man, he must have had a terrible qualifying effort because that car looks fast in the middle of the pack. And there's a big checkup going into turn 3. Busch got in the back of Clements. Look at Clements now taking that run to the outside. 3 wide. David Starr gets loose on the bottom there. Very heavy pack in the early going of the race. Everybody's got to be careful. A very... well, not a very long race necessarily, but 200 laps, and with it being the opening laps of the race, some really aggressive racing going on mid-pack right now. 3 by 3 through the field. Well, contact between Nemechek and Busch. Nemechek checked up off of turn 4. Kyle to the bottom, and he slides up the track. They're 4 wide. 4 wide through turns 1 and 2 at Texas. My goodness. These guys better get things situated soon, or we might have a big accident in the opening laps of the race. Oh, trouble off of turn 1. Car in the wall. Oh, in the air goes Brandon Brown. He got drilled by, I believe, Daniel Hemrick. A terrible crash on the front stretch at Texas, just 6 laps in, and we were wondering if we were going to get a big accident. And boy, did we ever off of turn 4. Just terrible crash here at Texas Motor Speedway. And the early going of this race. I believe Brown was running just outside the top 10. Pixelated, welcome to the stream. Green flag back in the air, and we're underway after the first caution. Saw a crazy initial start to the race. How will this restart go? Busch gets to restart on the outside this time. Try to duck in line in front of Justin Haley. Barely enough room, but he made it work. Yeah, I would have to guess his night's over too. That was a very horrific accident. Look at David Starr running just outside the top 10 right now. He's having a great run early. Just got passed by Busch, and look at the run Busch got through 1 and 2. He's getting a little tight up the racetrack. He will slide in front of Hemrick, who I believe was the car that had hit Brandon Brown. And again, Hemrick won at Road America, so he's locked into the playoffs. We've had 7 different winners in the first 12 races of the season. So just 5 spots still open on points, and Busch barely clears Chastain off at turn 4 for 11th. 10 laps complete. Pixelated, we saw a bad accident. Brandon Brown went flying in the air off of turn 4. Coming to lap number 6, that was the first and only caution of the race. That's all you've missed so far. In that 36, we saw him flying through the field in the opening laps of the race. He is still flying through the field, looking to get into the top 5. He's coming off a 3rd place finish at Road America. He had a pretty good finish, pretty good race all the way around for Alex LeBay. Getting much needed points because we have very few spots still open for the playoffs. And I would have to imagine we're still going to get at least a couple different winners before the playoffs even get started. Busch is a little tight through turns 1 and 2 from time to time. Much flatter corner. Can't quite carry as much speed through it as 3 and 4. It has a little bit more banking on this end of the racetrack. Could easily be a product of Busch just simply getting back into the gas too soon. No practice, just 1 lap of qualifying. I mean, they're still going 3 wide here in the back half of the top 10. Jones goes high through 1 and 2, not the best lane on that end of the racetrack, and Kyle Busch will take that 10th position away from him. Pole sitter Allgaier right in the thick of things up here, just outside the top 5 with Riley Hertz, Chase Briscoe right around him. Big run by Busch. Anthony Alfredo's in the mix as well. Remember, he won at Auto Club. Briscoe side by side with Busch for 6. Busch started pushing up the track slightly, kind of had to get out of the gas. Trying to side draft Briscoe, perhaps down the backstretch. Yes, he does. Really close, sends it off into turns 3 and 4, and Briscoe easily gives up the position. Lets Kyle Busch go for 6, not going to battle him too hard this early in the race. So it looks like Michael Annett is leading this race right now. He's also got a win this season. Alex LeBay running in 2nd. Points leader Austin Cindric running in 5th place. Has a 27-point lead over 2nd place Kyle Busch coming into the race tonight. Tomas Perez, welcome to the stream. Atlanta doing 325 laps. Kudos, man. Been there. That is for sure. Could definitely be one of the longer races. Cindric is trying to get around that 39 car, Brian Seek, for 4th right now. You see Harrison Burton's also in the top 5 and 3rd. And look at Busch again, a lot of ground through 1 and 2 on Cindric. Cindric went to the top. You can make it work at 3 and 4, 1 and 2, not so much. Busch couldn't quite grip the bottom of the track that time through 3 and 4. Runs the middle line, can't quite clear Cindric because of it. Cindric gets a little bit better drive off of turn 4. Hasn't quite cleared him, and now into turn 1. Busch will clear Cindric. Ryan Sieg goes high. Busch going to try to clear Sieg off of turn 2. This is going to be close, and he got him. Busch was determined, kept his foot on the throttle, and he's up to 4th. Called, welcome to the stream. Shouldn't have to worry about tires too much in this race today. Look at that slide job through 1 and 2 by Busch again. Here comes the crossover by Harrison Burton, and he clips the 54 car, and around goes Burton. Burton goes head on into the wall into turn 3. Caution is out again for the 2nd time today. Oh my goodness, a chain reaction of events there where Burton tried to cross over the 54 of Busch. They get together. Busch about got turned to the inside wall down the back straightaway. Burton tried to save it. He overcorrects it. Head on into the outside wall. My goodness. Rafael Perez, welcome to the stream. 2 cautions already in the race today. You're going to see some guys mid-pack on back hitting pit road. Everybody at least in the top half of the field is going to stay out. Keep the track position. Green flag back in the air, and we are underway after the 2nd caution in just the first 20 laps of the race. And that kind of blocking the bottom. Busch can't get under him into turns 1 and 2, but boy, he is trying hard. And he's going to get there. He gets a little loose. Off of turn 2, he's staying to the inside. Here comes Cindric, points leader right behind him. Busch has the advantage now into turn 3 as we get up to speed at Texas. They are going 3 wide, likely for second place. Nope, side by side. 2x2 through the field at the start-finish line. Kyle Busch leads his first lap of the race at lap 25 here today. Kyle's got enough laps on his tires. This is where you usually see him be the fastest when he's got the long run cars this season. And this seems like another one of those cases where Kyle's going to likely have the fastest long run car in the race. Those couple of cautions kind of helped bunch the field back up. He was able to get to the lead, I think, a lot quicker than what he would have otherwise. Couple of really violent accidents here tonight. The opening laps of the race. Again, 2 cautions in the first 20 laps. Busch has the clean air, the open room to run now off this last restart. After restarting in third, nailed it, got down to the bottom and cleared Michael Annett eventually off of turn 4 on that opening lap of the restart. Oh, I do not have a Twitch account. So, with the NASCAR Thunder 2004, again, I mentioned that because I didn't have the adapter, we're going to have to postpone the start of that series. I do have the game. I want to say the day I got it, I showed it on the stream. At least that I had the game and it was ready to go. And but again, because I didn't have the right adapter and I had to order it online because nobody in a nearby store had it on stock. The correct one that I needed, at least. They had other ones, but they weren't going to be compatible for PS2. So, gonna have to wait until I get that adapter. It's supposed to come in Tuesday, but again, I leave for Darlington on Thursday next week, and I work Monday through Wednesday. So, it'll likely be a couple weeks, unfortunately, but once we get it going again, I know you guys are going to have fun. I know I'm going to have fun. It just kind of sucks that we're delaying the start of the series, I guess, by a couple extra weeks that I really didn't want to, but still got the Heat 5 action for the remainder of this weekend, and then obviously the first, I'll have streams up through Thursday, but then from Friday through Monday, I will likely not be streaming at all. We'll have the predictions and post-race analysis video, and I'll be vlogging my trip down to Darlington, but that would be it for the videos as far as next weekend goes. But again, we'll be streaming daily as promised, as usual on the channel, up through Thursday. But then I will end up leaving Thursday afternoon, so that Thursday stream is going to be an earlier one. It's going to be late morning, early afternoon hours or so. Currently 10 people watching right now. Thanks for everybody tuning in. I do know the Xfinity race is going on right now, so sorry if I'm intruding or interrupting, but welcome. Got Xfinity Series action of our own on the channel tonight with a realistic broadcast. It's like Colleague Racing still leading the way. AJ Allmendinger's in the lead in that race, and they have just a handful of laps to go, so things are heating up there. Let you guys know who won as soon as the checkered flag comes out for that race. And I mentioned this before, especially after they won at Talladega earlier this season. with colleague racing, but they remind me of DEI in the early 2000s on the super speedways. What a cohesive unit they are, and they bring fast cars to super speedways. They're just so tough to beat, and the way they work as a team, they enjoy winning no matter who it is that wins that race. They're going to make sure that one of their cars gets the victory lane. It's really fun to watch, and it does remind me a lot of it. Yeah, AJ won at Bristol this season. What other racetrack did he end up winning at in the Xfinity Series? I want to say he won one of the road course races, but I could be wrong on that. It's going to be a second or third one of the year. Because Xfinity had a doubleheader at Bristol earlier. He won one of those races. I don't see anybody beating him. Unless maybe it's Justin Haley, but I think Haley's just going to stay right behind him. Haley's already locked in the playoffs. He's won, so I don't see anybody getting around him. Caution's out for the third time here tonight. Lap 36. The time of Kyle Busch leading. We got some split strategy coming up here. There are some drivers staying out of the pits that had pit under the first two cautions of the race, so a little bit of splitting strategies here. 4 fresh tires, full tank of fuel coming up for Kyle Busch. So he'll pit from the lead. And nobody is a lap down that is off the racetrack right now still. And Brandon Brown, the only driver out of the race. Patrick Shadley, welcome to the stream. Finished 18th at Road America there, Patrick. Kyle Busch wins the race off of pit road. He's going to restart in 10th. Green flag back in the air, top 9, all on older tires. It looks like Colby Howard in the 15 spins his tires on the restart. Busch is going to get to the bottom in front of him very quickly. 3 wide now into turn 1. Kyle trying to get going. He doesn't have a fast short run car when everybody's on fresh tires. It's going to take him about 20 to 30 laps to get going, so he's trying to quickly get around these guys. The 08 there of Ray Black Jr., or Joe Graff Jr. rather, got really loose off of turn 2, getting up to speed as the cars are fanning out further back. Busch washes up the track off of turn 4. He's in the wall and into the side of the 0 of Jeffrey Earnhardt, and Earnhardt saves it. Busch took a little bit of a trip through the grass even to make the save, and they're 4 wide for third place now. Unbelievable. Cindric has gotten up to 3rd, LeBay 4th, Gregson 5th. All those guys on 4 fresh Goodyears. Hemrick still holding on to the lead after that little bit of a situation, I guess we'll call it, off of turn 4 between Busch and Jeffrey Earnhardt. Busch is going to take the lead off of turn 4, and he's going to lead this lap at the line. But here comes Cindric ripping the outside through turns 3 and 4. Cindric is coming in the 22. And yes, indeed, Justin Haley's just won at Daytona for the NASCAR Xfinity Series in real life. I saw him cross the start-finish line, but I didn't see how he won it. And I did see somebody wrecked hard, it looks like. I glanced down when there was 2 laps left right before we went green. That was the last I saw of it. Cindric looking to get around Kyle Busch, who has led 2 consecutive laps in a row now. It's going to be tough to pass. This is a tough racetrack to pass cars, but look at them both going to the outside looking for extra speed. Turns 1 and 2, maybe not the place to do that. That would have been a perfect time for LeBay to get underneath him. I think Alex LeBay might have the fastest car in the field, and he has not won yet this season. Cindric got the outside through 3 and 4. Busch goes high to block. The top 5 all within a second of the race lead. Cindric to the bottom now. Busch is there, trying to hold on LeBay to the top. Michael Annett gets under him. Annett led virtually every lap until Busch took the lead off that second restart of the race. Mari P, welcome to the stream. And here comes Annett on the outside off of turn 4 for second place on Austin Cindric. Busch tries to hold on to the lead. Annett on the outside. It looks like LeBay going up the middle. Cindric on the bottom. Cindric looks low off of turn number 2. Kyle Busch hanging on. About as best as he probably can. And now Cindric goes high through 3 and 4. He's going to carry a lot of momentum. Off of turn 4, Busch got loose on the bottom. Cindric all over his back bumper now. Surprised Busch has been able to hold on for this long. Doing a great job hitting his marks around this racetrack. Acer 5628 and Haiti, welcome to the stream. Michael Annett just passed Austin Cindric through turn number 2. So again, Justin Haley just won the NASCAR Xfinity race at Daytona. Can you guys in the chat let me know how that ended up happening? Last I saw, Allmendinger was leading with 2 to go. And then we had to go green, so kind of missed the last 2 laps there. Simply because I'm streaming, obviously, at the same time. Wow, Busch got really loose in the center of 1 and 2. Shot way up the racetrack. Michael Annett still holding on to second for a moment. And kudos to Kyle Busch for doing what he's doing right now and hanging on to the lead. Second, third, fourth, all to the outside through 3 and 4. Busch hangs on. Garrett Master 2000, welcome to the stream. 14 people watch right now. AJ and Chastain wrecked each other. Really? That's crazy. I mean, one of the colleague cars still won, but that's insane. I'm sure they didn't want it to go down like that. I have to take a look at that finish as soon as I get off of here tonight. Third and fourth kind of backing off just a little bit. Michael Annett still keeping the pressure somewhat on Busch. Cindric got a great run there through turns 1 and 2. He's in third place. He pulled right to the back bumper of Michael Annett off the exit of that corner. Kyle Busch tries to run full throttle through 3 and 4. Annett now goes to the bottom. Cindric going for second place. He's underneath the 1 car of Michael Annett. Trying to make sure even if Busch does go on to win this race here tonight, he barely gains any points. Cindric has finished inside the top 10 in 11 of the first 13 races this season. Simply amazing. Finishing 13th and 28th in the other 2 races, and that 28th place finish came at Talladega. Chastain clipped his teammate. I can see that too. I can like visually kind of like picture that, even though I didn't see it, but I can visually picture Chastain trying to get on that left rear corner panel and side draft him and just take them both out. On accident, of course, but Chastain's known for being very aggressive, and sometimes it works out for him and sometimes it doesn't. In that case, I guess it didn't if he ended up wrecking himself and his teammate of all things. So it's like a win-lose kind of a night for colleague. Justin Haley's won 2 super speedway races this season now. He's got 1 in the Cup Series too. Should have won 1 a couple years ago in the Xfinity Series in this very race. So Justin Haley looking like a pretty good super speedway racer, like he knows what he's doing around these monstrous racetracks. Oh, he took out Cindric in the process too. Man, I'm gonna have to go back and look at that. Definitely sounds interesting. Lap traffic coming up in the picture. Busch is slightly pulling away from Cindric, followed by Michael Annett, Alex LeBay, and Harrison Burton rounds out the top 5. Top 3 all race winners this season. Alex LeBay in 4th. In the 5th place car of Harrison Burton is not. Now, very good drivers that have not won yet this season. Harrison Burton, Noah Gragson haven't won races. We have seen Alex LeBay running up front from time to time. He hasn't won a race yet this season. I mean, that's 3 strong cars. And we have 7 different winners. Let's say each one of those 3 guys wins a race. Let's say LeBay wins on a road course. Harrison Burton, Noah Gragson, Harrison Burton gets some wins. Justin Allgaier hasn't won yet this season. I mean, that's 4 solid candidates to possibly get a win. And we still got to go back to Talladega one more time before the playoffs. There's a very good opportunity for us to have 12 different winners in the regular season, and those would be the 12 playoff drivers. It's going to be fun down to the stretch, that is for sure. We've seen some exciting action in this Xfinity Series season. Oh man, Howard just got into the race leader, Kyle Busch, entering turn 1. Not sure what that was all about. It looked like Busch was expecting him to run lower, and Howard just kind of took his line away in the center of the corner. That could have been a lot worse than what it ended up being. Greg Golding finished 2nd again. Man, another guy who knows how to get around the super speedways in the Xfinity Series. Just seeing him in his post-race interview. Where'd Timmy Hill finish? He was running in the top 10 in the first half of the race. He make it to the end? Did he make it through that accident? So kind of an interesting situation going on here, unfolding in this very race that we're having tonight. 3 sets of tires left. You would think that's plenty here at Texas, because of the timing of those first 3 cautions. Under that 3rd yellow is when Busch and the rest of the field that did not pit yet ended up coming to pit road. And you wonder if we end up getting more cautions throughout the course of this race, how is that going to play into effect as far as how we could take tires and how that tire strategy might work out. 22nd for Timmy Hill. Oh, that's a bummer. AJ finished 15th. Wow. Oh, they're showing the replay. Oh, what was he doing? Oh, that was terrible. That just looked like it could have been avoided. The audio is muted, but I could see the picture of it. That just looks bad. There was no room. Chastain had 0 room to get under there, but he tried to force it anyway, and that's how he got into 16. I mean, that was his last chance to win the race, but especially on a teammate. I mean, you shouldn't do that anyway. If there isn't enough room there, you can't just squeeze your way into it in the center of a corner at Daytona, of all things, in front of the pack and expect it to work. I don't care if it's the last lap or not. And the fact that your teammate leading the race, of all things considered, they're lucky enough that Haley made it through to win the race, but they could have had a 1-2-3 finish. 100% of blame goes on Chastain there, for sure. Harrison Burton and Alex Labey have swapped spots now, and by the way, Austin Cindric has fallen back to third with Michael Annett in second place. Here is Ross Chastain in 15th right now, speaking of him. About to go lap down. Busch to the outside off of turn 4. Joe Nemechek, front row Joe, having a pretty solid run for that team, and the 47 car there. Currently in 14th. He'll be the first driver one lap down off of turn 2. Chastain's tough luck continues this season. That's another driver who hasn't won yet on this season. Justin Haley, Ross Chastain. There is going to be one or two very, very fast and competitive cars week in and week out that will not even make the playoffs here in this Xfinity Series field. That is insane to think about here, but the upset winners that we have had, Anthony Alfredo, Daniel Hemrick, winning on a road course, showing his road course prowess. Joe Nemechek, winning at Talladega. Austin Hill, winning at Daytona. A bunch of upset winners on this Xfinity Series season. There's going to be some good guys left out of the standings. Can alternate through the different camera angles for the first time in this race today. Again, it looks like the tires should make it all the way through the run. The fuel run, that is. And honestly, if we can get to halfway and still have 3 tires, or 3 sets of tires left to put on this race car, that is going to be good for Kyle Busch, and he doesn't have to split strategy or anything of that nature. Black Ace, welcome to the stream. Under 30 laps to go, 70 laps complete here in this one tonight. So Ace, I mentioned this a couple times over the course of the stream already. But unfortunately, I was not able to get to it yesterday. I had to run to my local Best Buy, Walmart, you know, anywhere that sold electronics that I thought would have had an adapter. I do not have or at least they didn't have the correct adapter in stock at any of those stores. I needed a Elgato HD60S Plus and not a Pro, because the Pro was not compatible for a PlayStation 2 or a PlayStation 3. So I need an S Plus. So I had to order it online, and it's available for pickup in the store, and they should get it at the store by Tuesday. And that, again, that's unfortunate. I hate to mislead you guys saying this is when we're going to start, this is when we're going to start, and that's one thing that I really regret about saying that. So I'm really, really sorry for that. Trust me. I'm sorry for myself, and I'm sorry for you guys that I couldn't get that out. And it's probably going to be a couple weeks again, although even if I ended up getting it ordered straight to my house, it would be an extra day or two, so it wouldn't even matter. So I guess we'll just have to worry about it when I get back from Darlington in about a week and a half, unfortunately. Oh, man! CJ McLaughlin pulled down right in front of Kyle Busch. right in the center of turns 3 and 4. Busch was hauling on the bottom lane. And all the way to the top through 1 and 2. Definitely not a preferred line, that's for sure. He's going to get the run on Anthony Alfredo. Now just 10 cars on the lead lap here at Texas. Quite surprised how fast of a car Kyle Busch is showing here tonight. Yeah, for sure. Hopefully there isn't going to be any scary accidents tomorrow. Yeah, I know. I can't wait for it either. I'm definitely... Now, the only good thing about this is I get to practice. And the only good thing I can take away from this is I get to practice the game because I have not played it in over 10 years. If I jump straight into a season, that game is nothing like NASCAR Heat, the way the cars handle or anything else. I mean, if you think about it too, the package is even different. It's a different car. It's a different everything. So at least I get to practice it. I've very barely played it simply because I was focused so hard yesterday on trying to get it going. I played it a little bit today before I went golfing, but I was maybe only on for like half hour, 40 minutes at the most, and I forgot how hard it was. I really did. I just went to a couple intermediate tracks on Race Now and I was like, oh man. I'm like, I know nothing for setups. I'm gonna have to use custom setups on that game because the standard default setups that I would use here on NASCAR Heat, even at least Heat 4 and 5 for that matter, is somewhat competitive, especially in the longer run, but on NASCAR Thunder, it's not competitive at all when on Legend. A little contact between Gregson and Busch there. And caution's out right as Gregson goes a lap down. So Gregson will get the free pass in 8th place. Caution's out for the 4th time today. Well, we were going to repair damage anyway. We had 2 or 3 seconds. Michael Annett wins the race off the pit road. Green flag back in the air, and Annett spins the tires on the restart. He spins the tires, and Busch is going to propel to the lead. He missed him to the inside. Harrison Burton got a good restart on the outside, but look at Kyle Busch take off through 1 and 2. Heck of a restart by Busch. That's cool, Tyler. So Busch leads the opening lap of the restart there. Almost at the halfway point, just 2 sets of tires left. After that caution came out, couldn't make it entirely through that fuel window once again, so they had to pit a little earlier. So 4 cautions total in the race today, and we'll see if Busch can hang on for the first 15 to 20 laps until the tires start to kick in, just like he did last time. He did a great job hitting his marks with the clean air every single time, but here comes Michael Annett. Through turns 1 and 2, he's closing the gap off of turn 2. He is right on that back bumper. Look at Riley Herbst back there in 3rd. He also another driver and a competitive JGR Toyota who hasn't won yet this season. Looking for 3rd place. Busch gets loose off of turn 4 and saves it right in front of the 1 car of Michael Annett. And they're 3 wide now for 2nd place off of turn 4 down into turn 1. Burton on the top, Herbst in the middle, Michael Annett on the bottom. Annett fends them all off. Here comes Cindric now, 3 wide for 3rd. To the bottom. LeBay kind of stuck behind them all. And look at the run Harrison Burton's got. Busch went up high to block it. They're 2 by 2. Back behind the race leader. Busch is backing up these corners about perfectly right now. trying to stay in front of everybody. Annette in second, all by himself now going into turn 3. Keeps going to the bottom of the track. That's the way to go here around Texas. For the most part, Cindric maybe looking a little higher. Busch gets a little loose off of turn 4 again, but he's hanging on to it. And here comes Cindric to the outside of the one car of Annette. Got a big side draft off that right rear corner panel. Burton testing the outside once again, but not as high as what Alex Labey ran off of turn 2 that time. Look at this field and how bunched together they are. Busch is holding them up. Looks like Riley Herbst got a little loose getting into turn 3. Either that or a drastic move to try and get underneath Harrison Burton in the center of the corner for 4th. He's on his inside. That might have been the case. Can alternate through the different camera angles one final time now in today's race. Look at Busch gripping that white line perfectly through the center of 1 and 2. Cindric to the outside. But he kind of hugged down on that one car in the center of the corner. He did not give him a lot of room. Busch trying to go full throttle now through 3 and 4. He actually stuck it really well that time too. And the way that Texas is a D-shaped oval, the front stretch is obviously a lot tighter because of that D shape on the front stretch, and it's kind of hurting Michael Annett. He can't get underneath Kyle Busch as well, even if he can get the run off of turn 4 like he has at times. And Kyle's able to run full throttle through turns 3 and 4 when he hits his marks perfectly like he did those last 2 laps. Even 1 and 2 for the most part. He's doing all right for himself, but he gets into the gas a little too soon, and here comes Annett. Oh, they almost got together off of turn 2. Cindric now on the outside. Busch messed up. He got back in the gas too soon off of turn 2, and look at Cindric trying to pinch him down now. He is not giving him a lot of space. Busch just got back into the gas too soon off of turn 2, and boy, did it cost him so much time. But look at that power move. He's going to clear Cindric for 2nd. Look at the run Busch got into turn 3. It looked like once he got past, Annett was just going to take off. That's not the case. Busch is on his inside and is aggressively side-drafting Annett off of 4 down the front stretch into 1. What a power move by Busch. Annett really trying to pinch him down, get the air off that right rear corner panel, and Kyle Busch back to the lead again off of turn 2. That is unbelievable. What a run. He was able to carry those last 2 laps after getting passed for the lead. Now he's drifting up off of turn 4 a little too much, and that gets the run. And now Annett not letting Busch go, but the caution's out again. And this is where the situation comes into play. Caution is out for the 5th time tonight. Brandon Jones will get the free pass in 9th place, and the problem will lie for Kyle Busch. He will have to stay out. He's only got 2 sets of tires remaining. And if he pits now, that is a mighty big risk to be asking out of those tires, and you better hope that plays out, or this could hurt him if he doesn't get a long green flag run. Noah Gragson ends up staying out as well, so the top 2 are on older tires. Gragson would have restarted 8th, so he gained 7 spots by doing that. Green flag back in the air. Kyle Busch leads the field to the green. Everybody behind Gregson on fresh tires, but Gregson had a good restart, but not as good as Busch. Busch has been nailing his restarts all day long, and you could see right there how much that really helped him. Michael Annett trying to get under his teammate Gregson into turn 3. He looks to the inside. He's going to get there. He's got a much faster car. At this point in the run, Busch goes full throttle as we get up to speed off of turn 4. And here comes Michael Annett on 4 fresh Goodyears. He is coming. Give him about another half a lap, and I think he's going to be knocking on the door going into turn 3 on Kyle Busch. Busch hit his marks about as perfectly as he could through 1 and 2, minimize that gap a little bit, in which Annett was able to pull Busch. Kyle gets a little loose up the track through 3 and 4, Annett on the outside. Here he comes. Oh, and he squeezes in there. Busch slid up the track. Annett leads the lap by inches at the line. Annett just squeezed his way in there as Busch slid up the track off of turn 4. And here comes Cindric on the outside. Man, he was going 3 wide off the exit of turn 2. Cindric got really loose for a moment. Here comes LeBay to the inside. Busch has to be careful. He's in the wall off of turn 4. He clips Burton, and around through the grass goes Kyle Busch. A big-time save by Kyle Busch, and now he's on pit road. There's a lot of cars up there on the racetrack, and Busch has to take it easy on the apron through 1 and 2. He didn't want to drift up the track at the center of the corner. They're going 4 wide back here, and Busch has to settle to get up to speed. An unbelievable save through the grass by Kyle Busch. After bouncing off the wall off of turn 4. Second lap in a row, he drifted up off of 4. First time he made contact with Annett. Annett got to the lead. Second time he loses a lot of ground. Cross flags are in the air. We're halfway home here tonight at Texas. 100 laps down, 100 laps to go. Plenty of time for Busch to catch back up. Problem is, the leaders are on 4 fresh Goodyears. And how is that going to work out for Kyle? Again, he has had hit or miss kind of luck throughout the course of this season. So one thing I noticed at Road America, at least since the latest patch, and I'm noticing here at Texas tonight, look at the tires on everybody's cars. The tires on everybody's cars are chattering. They're just vibrating on the track. I don't know if that's really messing with the handling or not. I noticed at Road America felt like my car was a little bit looser than normal for road courses. And here tonight, we've definitely had a handful too, but it's not just my car either. It's on the AI. I mean, look at the wheels. They're all vibrating. There's Brandon Jones stuck in the traffic, so Busch is going to hopefully get around him for 8th place. Well, Busch is up there. And Jones just kind of split the lap cars. Oh, Busch overdrove turn 1. Really drove it in there deep to try and get underneath Mike Harmon. He still gets under him. Look at Busch get sideways in the center of the corner. Trying to keep that car tucked under Harmon. Oh man, Busch in the wall again off of turn 4. And Jones right to his back bumper again. What a move by Kyle. Oh, now he goes up the middle off of turn 2 in between Landon Castle and Tommy Joe Martins. Kyle just trying to ride it out on older tires. That obviously can't help with his handling of his race car either. Doing the best with what he has. But he had to do it. If he would have pit there, he was taking a risk of this race having to almost basically go caution free. If not, a caution come out right at the very, very end of the next fuel run in order for him to be able to make it on just those final 2 sets of tires. But now by not pitting under that caution, he's able to go longer throughout this run, didn't pit with the rest of the field. It puts him off strategy. He obviously lost the track position on the restart. So how is this going to work out in the long run? If we go caution free to the end of the race, this is likely going to hurt Kyle Busch, and he will likely not win this thing. But at the same time, he does need a long enough green flag run for everybody to cycle through the pits one more time. He is already about 15 seconds off the lead in 7th place. So he just passed Noah Gragson last lap also. No, we are not a lap down, 15 seconds off the lead. So about a half a track behind the race leader. Looking better for Cindric. Not only is running in the top 5, but he's ahead of Kyle Busch. And after a rough go in what was starting off to be a good race at Road America for Busch, one bad thing led to another, and ended up finishing 18th. Come the finish. How about David Starr running 12th? He's had a couple of really breakout performances. $91 to go. So our next full race live stream on the channel, of course, NASCAR Heat 5 again with the Thunder 04 issues that we're going to be having, and we won't get that streamed until maybe next week, but it's likely going to be the week after because I leave for Darlington next week. But anyway, what I was going to say is that the next full race live stream for Heat 5 will be the Xfinity Series again. Oh, wow, Jeffrey Earnhardt pulled off a major block on Busch getting into 1 and 2 there. As he passes Daniel Hemrick for 10th place, so Jeffrey Earnhardt in the free pass spot right now in 10th, so that's what they're battling for between the 0 car and the 8 car. Hemrick trying to get him back. We go to Indianapolis Motor Speedway tomorrow for a 100-lap event, 250-miler. Should be a lot of fun. Not sure on the start time for that stream, but that will be the next race, and it will be coming up tomorrow for the Xfinity Series. So race number 14 of our season. It'll have to be somewhat earlier in the day because obviously NASCAR's racing tomorrow for the Cup Series, so definitely can't miss an event there. And I have a fantasy football draft in the evening before the race tomorrow too. So I'm gonna be a busy man tomorrow. So between that, I'll probably wake up at like 6, 7 o'clock tomorrow morning to go golfing. So. We have not made our green flag pit stop yet, Amari. Kyle just going to ride it out as long as he can. 529 subs, nice. Yep, thanks everybody for subscribing right now. And if you are new to the channel and you're not subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button. We've got more daily NASCAR content on the channel. Prediction videos, post-race analysis videos that give you guys my fantasy advice. Both of those kinds of videos will be coming up on the channel also tomorrow. We'll have the predictions video out obviously before the race. The post-race analysis video might not be out until Sunday because again with that fantasy football draft, we're planning on being out at their house all night, our commissioner's house all night. So I'll have the race on my phone though, so I'll be listening and watching that throughout the course of it. I won't miss anything essentially. The draft is all like in his garage not online at all, so I won't miss a lap of the race. But yeah, again, full race live streams though, realistic broadcast. And Kyle Busch is cutting into this deficit. He's about 12 seconds off the lead, so the tires at this point in the run have evened out. He's got about 15 to 20 lap older tires than the rest of the field, so we had to run about that many laps for it to even out. Though they were probably twice as fast as normal in the short run leading up to that point. King Jackson, welcome to the stream. Let's try to go full throttle through 3 and 4 here. He's got Joe Graff Jr. right in front of him off of turn 4. Right front tire for Kyle Busch is wearing out quite significantly over the course of this run. He's had a lot of contact here and there too, which definitely doesn't help the case. And there's a caution. So that is what Kyle Busch needed. Caution is out again. Jeffrey Earnhardt will get the free pass in 10th. 82 laps to go. This is the 6th caution of the race already tonight. Cannot make it on fuel to the end from here, but again, you will be seeing pit stops. Harrison Burton was in the lead at the timing of the caution. Not exactly sure who the caution is out for, and the only drivers out of the race. Chase Briscoe's actually out of the race right now. So is Josh Williams. And Brandon Brown's been out of the race since the very beginning. He got in a very, very horrific accident off of turn 4, just 5 laps in. So green flag back in the air here at Texas. Busch is bunched right back up with the leaders. Lost a couple spots on pit road. Went from 7th back to 9th. But he's been nailing the restarts all day long. Can he nail another one? Well, he did to some extent. And look at him, 3 wide to the bottom. It's unbelievable the restarts Kyle Busch has had here tonight. As he looks underneath Cindric, they're 3 wide down the backstretch. Busch is going for 2nd place. Now through 3 and 4, he's going for the lead on Harrison Burton. Michael Annett up the middle. Unbelievable restart from 9th place. Busch to the lead. Unbelievable. It is unbelievable what Kyle Busch has been able to do on the restarts as he went from about 12 seconds back in 7th to losing 2 spots on pit road, restarting 9th. But by bunching the field back up, he is right back to the lead again. Restart of a lifetime. The best thing is Kyle Busch never made any contact with anybody to get through there. He just kind of squeezed his way in there with little room that he had. But here comes Burton off of turn 2. Remember, they almost wrecked earlier, and Burton got way out of the gas. And now Busch gets into the side of Michael Annett. And here comes Cindric, the points leader, up the middle. 3 wide for the lead off of turn 4. Annett hangs on to it. Michael Annett back to the lead. Cindric now clears Kyle Busch for 2nd. Cindric all the way to the top through 1 and 2. Busch to the bottom. Kyle back up to 2nd. He got back around Cindric. We saw last time on a restart when everybody was on equal fresh tires that Michael Annett got to the lead. Busch got him right back. But this case, Annett was able to pull away more because Austin Cindric got by Busch as well. So Kyle had to waste time getting back into 2nd place quickly on Cindric. No, I'm not going to wreck Cindric. We don't need a caution at this point. We only got one set of tires left. 73 laps to go. Michael Annett, although he's maintaining the lead, he's not really pulling away from second on back. Look at Harrison Burton now going for third. Got a big run off of turn 2. See those guys that aren't running up near the wall really try to pinch those cars on the inside down, both ends of the racetrack. Race driver 4, welcome to the stream. Realistically, you could still wreck somebody. I just choose not to. Intentionally, unless they really irritate me enough, but that takes a lot usually. Michael Annett going to the outside. He realizes even with the clean air in front of the field, he's just not gaining the time he needs. Now the outside works through 3 and 4. Not so much in 1 and 2, so we'll see if he goes back to it in 1 and 2. No, he goes back to the bottom. That's not a bad line and not a bad lap by Michael Annett to do that either. Cindric and Burton still side by side for third behind Kyle Busch. Oh man, oh. Slide. That was from the center of the corner all the way to the exit. Busch lost a little ground that lap on Annett. And Cindric up to third all by himself. He's looking at second now. And here comes Ryan Sieg into the top 5. He hasn't been up here all day. He's going for third. What a move by Ryan Sieg. He couldn't quite clear Cindric. He did clear Harrison Burton. Ryan Sieg, another driver who hasn't won yet this season, is up to third. Cindric had to get out of the gas. He slipped up the track off the exit of 2. Michael Annett still about a second ahead of Kyle Busch. Ryan Sieg, who basically came out of nowhere in this one, really caught up to Kyle Busch, but the more laps we run, more of a chance Kyle's going to have for that car to really start to take off on him. Look at the run he's got through 3 and 4 here. He ran a faster lap than Annett. Annett is catching the back of this lap traffic, so he no longer has the clean air advantage. 67 laps to go. He tries to go high, and the lap cars are there. Jeff Green kind of took his line away. Busch is coming in hot. Oh, Green gets in his way now off of turn 2. He still gets to the inside of Annett. To the lead into turn 3, Kyle Busch. Although the lap traffic didn't necessarily make it easy for Busch, it was not any easier, in fact worse for Michael Annett. Mercury, welcome to the stream. Kyle Busch. Leads, and now Annett's in second. Trying to hang with the 54. Oh man, he caught Fincham in a terrible spot. Awkward angle into turn 1. Gets around him cleanly, but Annett had to go to the outside, and outside through 1 and 2, not any better really, I guess. So pretty equal that time between the 54 and the 1. And Kyle's just slowly getting faster and faster by the laps and pulling away from Annett. Any tips for running the super speedways? Much like any other race, you kind of got to be patient. If it's a shorter race, I don't know, you just got to be able to carry the momentum in the draft. If you can get a big gap in between you and the car ahead of you, say if you're struggling to pass them, or struggling to get the help with the bump draft to pass them, try to get out of the gas a little bit, create a little bit of space. I tend, if I do that, to get out of the gas in the middle of the corner, so that way I have the entire straightaway to work with to get around him there. Because if you were to get out of the gas in the straightaway, by the time you would tend to pull up behind him, we'd get into a turn, and it makes it a lot harder to create a pass, at least to fully pass him and clear him. Yeah, you just kind of got to go where the run's coming, for sure. If you're leading, you really got to be careful with the blocks, obviously. You don't want to be too aggressive and wreck yourself out, especially in the career mode, the season mode. I wouldn't call myself overly aggressive with blocks. I do block, and late in the race I'll be aggressive with it. But if you're early in the race, you can't block aggressively and risk wrecking some of the speed out of the car. Matthew Chan, welcome to the stream. I do not run custom setups. Yeah, usually if you do back off and you're in the center of a corner, it usually only works on the bottom, unless you can get a good side draft if you're on the top lane or like the middle lane, whatever it is, whatever lane you're running. If you're on the bottom, it works better, but .5-second lead for Kyle Busch right now over Austin Cindric, Harrison Burton, then Alex Labbe rounds out the top 5. Busch looking for his 6th win of the season, but by no means does he have the regular season championship lead. He is 27 points behind Cindric coming into the night. Cindric running in 3rd place. It's a 5-point difference between 1st and 2nd, and 1 point per position, every position on back through the field after that. So as of right now, if the race were to end with this being the finishing results, Kyle Busch would only gain 6 points on Cindric. So he is at least racking up a little bit more in the playoff point standings. Of course, when he started the season, it wasn't looking so hot. Starting to get in a little bit of a groove as we're halfway through the regular season after this race today. Definitely a lot of variety of different winners. Ethan Trendler, welcome to the stream. .57 to go here for Kyle Busch. But still at least one more pit stop to go today. Kyle's only got 1 set of tires left, so he's for sure going to have only one more pit stop. Seen some crazy restarts all day long today. Just some great and unbelievably unpredictable events have occurred throughout the course of this race here at Texas, nonetheless, on a 1.5 miles, so you love to see that. Trivia question of the night. We haven't gotten to it yet, so we will now. Speaking of Kyle Busch, Xfinity Series and Texas Motor Speedway. This is a 2-part question. So, 2-part question. 1, how many wins does Kyle Busch have in the Xfinity Series at Texas? And the second part of that question is, how many races did he win consecutively within those 9 races? So that's a 2-part trivia question tonight. The reason why it's 2 parts, again, we couldn't get a trivia question out yesterday. I didn't do my background research before the race like I should have, so I made sure to do extra work to get 2 questions for tonight's race. So again, Kyle Busch, or I should say, how many wins does Kyle Busch have in the Xfinity Series at Texas, and how of those wins, how many consecutive? You have 5 wins, 2 consecutively? No, that is not the answer to the question. He is the interesting fact to go along with that. He is the most winningest driver at Texas in Xfinity Series history. And the Xfinity Series has been racing at Texas since 1997, so. So, Cole got that part of the question right. Now, how many did he win consecutively? This was in the mid-2000s, by the way. The stretch of races that he would have won consecutively. Now, I know you guys are probably going to get it eventually because you could start guessing numbers, so. A 9 or 2. It's neither one of those two. No, he did not win all 9 of those races consecutively. That'd be unreal if he did. Eight-second lead here for Kyle Busch, still working through the lap traffic. I'll give you guys about another lap to try and figure it out here. I have not seen the correct answer yet. I have seen all the answers too, so I've not seen the correct answer for how many consecutively. Oh man, Busch right in the back bumper of Vinnie Miller there. Right in the center of turns 1 and 2. Lock in your final answers. A lot of you guys have been guessing more than one, so, or I should say some of you guys have been guessing more than one answer, so. All right, 50 laps to go in the race. 3/4 of the way home. Still a quarter of the laps remaining. So lock in final answers. Just give me one number. Each of you give me one number, and we'll see if anybody gets it. Nine and 5. 9 and 4. Yeah, so the Cole did get it right, 9 and 5. I'm gonna trust that he didn't look it up on Google, but yep. So Kyle Busch in the mid-2000s won 5 consecutive Xfinity races, then at the time called Busch Series races at Texas, and he has won 9 in total. I'm not sure if that's the track he's won the most Xfinity races at. That's certainly quite a bit. And caution is out. With 48 laps to go, our 7th caution of the race today will fly, and couldn't tell exactly who that was as we have a spinner in turns 1 and 2. Anthony Alfredo will get the free pass in 10th. And Jeffrey Earnhardt was the cause of that caution, so tough break for him. He was running inside the top 10 and on the lead lap. So tough break there. Tim Lambert, welcome to the stream. Yeah, thanks there, Tim. Shane Pinkney, welcome to the stream. Chauvin Morgan, welcome to the stream. 6 and 4. So yeah, Called was correct on that guess. Once again, 5 consecutive races Kyle Busch has won back in the mid-2000s, and he's won 9 in total in the Xfinity Series at Texas. 45 laps to go here at Texas Motor Speedway. Let's see if Kyle Busch can get his 10th career win at the racetrack in the Xfinity Series. Harrison Burton, good restart in second. Busch won the race off of pit road there as well. And they are 3 wide for second place now. Austin Cindric to the bottom. He couldn't quite clear Harrison Burton. Ryan Sieg was in the mix up there. Don't forget about Alex LeBay. He's been in the top 5 all night. Or right around it at least. 3 wide. For third place, it's Alex LeBay. Trying to get the second, but he can't clear Burton. Cindric loses a couple spots in that corner. As they battle so hard for second, they can't get away from one another, and Busch is holding just over a half a second lead. Last set of tires, so you will not see Kyle Busch hit pit road the rest of the night. 43 to go. Fuel and tires should make it to the end of the race. But will we stay green to the finish? And Alex LeBay has worked his way to second. Michael Annett, third place, has led the second most laps behind Busch tonight. He's going for second on LeBay off of turn number 4. He is there. Here comes LeBay on the top side. Busch leads the lap, but Alex LeBay looking for the lead. Busch goes up to side draft him now into turn 1. It looks like they're both loose. And on the outside, a power move by Alex LeBay to get to the lead. Can he win his first race of the season? What an unbelievable story this would be. Another upset winner, so to speak. What a run by that 36 team here tonight. With just 41 to go, but Kyle Busch trying to hang in there. Man, he gained a lot of ground through 1 and 2 that time. And Austin Cindric now all over the back of the 54. Busch kind of pulled a block off in turn 2. Harrison Burton with a quick and swift move to get around Cindric on the outside. He goes back to the top now through 3 and 4. Busch got a little loose, washed up the track. He holds on to second place, but he loses a little bit of ground again to LeBay. LeBay not hooked right around that white line like Busch was through turns 1 and 2 there. So I watched the entirety of the first 2 stages of the Xfinity race, and then we went live because we had to get this race in at some point today. So went live, I had it on, and I was kind of glancing over from time to time when I could, whether it was under caution or pit stops, whatever it might have been. I missed the finish of it live, but I saw a replay of it of how that accident happened and Justin Haley getting the win. So an interesting meeting Monday morning for colleague racing, to say the least. LeBay kind of slipped up that last lap. Oh, Busch slipped up off of turn 4 though. Annett could not capitalize. Austin Cindric's falling outside of the top 5 now, but that's what Busch wants to see. Cindric battling for 5th back there with Harrison Burton. Alex LeBay leads the race. Busch trying to run him back down. Oh, Annett goes all the way to the outside. Busch trying to slide job, and he can't clear him. Boy, he went for it all there, and he aggressively tried to side draft that left rear corner panel off the exit of 4, but he couldn't stay alongside of the 36 of LeBay. And look at Busch really arc 1 and 2 off. LeBay back to the top again, off of turn 2. Can Busch clear him? Yes, he does. Kyle Busch to the lead off of turn 2. Took him about an extra half a lap, but he got the lead. And Michael Annett looking for second. And he's got it. And now Michael Annett looking for the lead. Busch with the lead change officially at the line, 36 to go as he's back out in front again. Over a handful of different times he's led laps in this race. We'll get the free pass now, so oh boy. Five drivers are already out of the race. I believe Landon Castle brought out that last caution now. Jeffrey Earnhardt, David Starr, Josh Williams, Chase Briscoe, Brandon Brown have all retired from the race. 11 cars will be on the lead lap when we restart here. We know Busch is staying out. He's on his final set of tires. And it looks like everybody else on the lead lap behind him will also stay out of the pits. So that was probably the mic is out of sync. How does that happen? Like every night? Like not every night, but it seems like the mic is out of sync like every other night though for the last week or two. Green flag back in the air. 31 laps to go. Didn't even seem like the stream was lagging that bad tonight either. Usually it lags and then it falls behind, but I don't think that was the case. Well, sorry for that, everybody. I don't know how that keeps happening. It's obviously gotta be, I don't even know. I don't know if it's a YouTube problem. I don't know if it's a Wi-Fi, a PlayStation. That's been happening a lot recently. I'm not quite sure how, and there's no way to fix it without restarting the stream. We're not doing that. So Kyle Busch had the restart there. Michael Annett trying to catch right back up to him. The problem is we have over 10 laps on our tires. So Kyle Busch is getting closer and closer to that peak part of the run and where he starts to pull away from the field. He nailed his restart once again, as he has all night. Yeah, I haven't had an issue with it falling out of sync up until I want to say like a week and a half to 2 weeks ago. It started doing it. And then all of a sudden, it's like every other night, and it doesn't matter whether I'm using, it can't be a Wi-Fi issue, because it doesn't matter whether I'm using my hotspot or the actual Wi-Fi. It seems like it's still either lagging out or falling out of sync. I don't know. So Kyle just hoping this stays green to the end, but having 8 cautions in an Xfinity race is pretty much a caution-filled race nonetheless, especially with no stages. I wish in a situation like this there was a way for you guys to manually be able to like pause the stream but not the audio, so that, or I mean pause the audio but not the stream and let it catch up, but it's unfortunate. Well, at least as far as the broadcast goes, it won't be spoiling anything if we stay caution free to the end, because this is Kyle Busch's race to lose at this point. He's dominated all night. Even on the short runs, he's keeping right up with these guys, something he hasn't done much on many other racetracks this season, is keep up with his fellow competitors that he's battling for the wins with, or for a win with on the short runs, but he is here. Yeah, that tip for trying to back off and make a good run, that definitely works a lot better when you obviously have help. But for 2, if there's the leader, because they have nobody to draft with, it's a little bit harder mid-pack. But if it's like last lap, it doesn't feel like you're going anywhere. Try backing out of the gas a little bit. Say going into turn 1, get out of the gas, and then try to get into the draft. You can get a really big run that way. And you're not going to lose him because he's by himself. So you'll have a shot at it. Three-and-a-half-second lead. Michael Annett second. Harrison Burton third. Austin Cindric back up to 4th place, and Alex Abey has fallen back to 5th. Seen Ryan Sieg up in the top 5 a lot later in this race also, but he's outside the top 5 right now. Just got a little loose off of turn 4 there, but keeps his foot down on the throttle. Just 22 laps away from winning his 10th career race at Texas in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. And not only that, but looking for a 6th win of the season to cut into that regular season championship lead. It is really looking like a 2-horse race now as we get deeper and deeper into the season. Michael Annett was hanging in there for a little bit, and he did gain ground on Kyle Busch last race, but he lost ground from Cindric. Michael Annett is sitting just over 10 points behind Busch in the standings coming into this race today, and Kyle with a win will obviously start to pull away from Annett even more as well. But I think it's looking like a two-horse race between Cindric and Busch for the regular season championship here. It'll be a lot of fun to watch because we're halfway through the regular season once the checkered flag flies tonight. So just 13 races to go up until then. It'll be a lot of fun. Sports Live, welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining. Yeah, it's a bit of a late night. We did have a lot of people watching at one point. We had about, what, 16 earlier? We did have a lot, like literally 2 minutes ago, and then it just kind of dropped off, but I guess it tends to happen on a late night, nevertheless. Plus, we had the Xfinity race to go up against here tonight, too, although that has come to a conclusion. The real-life Xfinity race, that is, but we're still here. Again, realistic broadcast, as always, on the daily. We'll be back again tomorrow at Indianapolis for the NASCAR Xfinity Series for the next race of this season with these full race live streams. Kyle Busch looking for another win this season. Trying to bounce back after that 18th place finish at Road America yesterday. Looking very good all day today. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I remember you, TTV Redskins. Yeah, I've gotten a comment about the live race reactions before, but I just don't want to do it. I really do like to sit down and watch the race myself, you know, without the camera in front of me, necessarily. But someday, hopefully we can start broadcasting races in real life, you know, and you guys can actually watch the race at home. And maybe it's me broadcasting the race on Fox or NBC or ESPN, whatever channel's got the rights to NASCAR, whenever that could possibly become a thing, because that'd be pretty cool. Man, Busch got really squeezed underneath Balicki to put him another lap down there. 15 laps to go for Busch. It's hoping it stays green. It's been good on the restarts and on the short run, but if everybody ends up pitting, that could really hurt Kyle. Yeah, the problem with the live race reactions, too, is, like, my parents don't watch every race. But especially, you know, the last couple of years with the NASCAR races starting later, of course, and me living Eastern time zone, by the end of the race, it's, like, typically anywhere between 5 to 7 o'clock, depending on how many cautions there were and how many miles the race is. Usually, when that happens, we're about eating dinner, so everybody's, you know, in watching the rest of the race in the living room. So it's, like, it's kind of, it's just not a good, like, time of day for me to really do a reaction over it, too. I don't think my family would like it too much, in the sense that, you know, trying to watch the race. And honestly, I don't blame them, because I do like, you know, simply just going to my grandparents' house from time to time to watch the race even, too, and stuff like that, so. Hemrick's falling back to 17th here in this one after winning at Road America yesterday, but he's got his win. He's in the playoffs. He can relax a little bit. I'm sure he would still love to win and get more playoff points, maybe get himself in the top 10 of the point standings, because remember, top 10 in the point standings do get playoff points as well. 15 for the regular season championship, 9 for second, 8 for third, and then it's 1 point all the way back till 10th place in the regular season standings gets 1. So regular season standings do matter if you're in the top 10. If you're not in the top 10, then obviously it doesn't matter. And of course, got some playoff bubble spots going on right now too. You still want to get all the points you can there also. If you don't have a win. But if you have a win, you're in the top 20 in points, you're in. And so far, everybody that has won this season is in the top 20 in points. Of the 7 different winners. Mike is back in sync. How did that happen? Yeah, I don't even know how that happened. 9 laps to go. Join the NASCAR Heat 5 League. I want to see you guys lobby to get me in the core. That'd be pretty cool. I'd do that. It's typically NASCAR YouTubers, but I'm just not big enough, I guess, yet. I try not to intrude on other people's channels to say, hey, look at this. I've done it on a couple like NASCAR videos that NASCAR puts out on their YouTube channel, but that's about it. Those tires are wearing out quite a bit. We got 18% on that right front for Kyle Busch. This is the second fuel run in a row that Kyle's really actually worn out that right front quite a bit. He wasn't doing that in the first half of the race. Man, Busch getting very loose on those older tires. Into turn 1 there, and just 7 to go. He's just got to hang on to it for a little bit longer. And he'll get to the end of the race. And he really needs to hope that this race doesn't go to overtime, because that's more laps he's going to end up having to run on that right front. You know, I've always wondered that too, if the mic ever fell out of sync, if you could just refresh it and it would go back to normal. I never really thought about that, mainly because I'm not actually listening to myself. If I was listening to myself while I was trying to talk, it would kind of mess with me. A little bit of a checkup down the front stretch. McLaughlin was kind of in the way of Anthony Alfredo. Alfredo will go a lap down off of turn 2. Brandon Jones in 8th place, about to go a lap down also. Seven drivers on the lead lap, 4 laps to go for Kyle Busch. Right front tire down to 11% tire wear. If he has to take it easy the last couple laps, he will, but he's hustling to try and get to that white flag. I think he knows that right front tire will make it to the end of the race. And you got to wonder, too, that caution that we got a little bit earlier, about 10 laps into this green flag, the prior green flag run, we had a caution with 34 laps left in the race. We ran 4 caution laps. I think that really helped Kyle Busch in trying to make it to the end. If we didn't have those 4 caution laps, he might be nursing it to make sure that right front makes it to the end, but he doesn't have to nurse it. So far, so good. 2.5 laps to go in the race. He wore out that right front quite a bit that last lap. He was getting really loose all the way through 3 and 4. Just 2 laps to go for Kyle Busch here at Texas, hoping it stays green to the end, or at least long enough to get to the white flag in a half a lap. Less than a mile until that point for Kyle Busch. He's hustling to try and get to the white flag. He'll back it off the last lap if he has to after he gets to the white flag to conserve the right front on the last lap. Got a little loose off of 4, keeps the hammer down. White flag in the air, 1 lap to go for Kyle Busch here at Texas. A 22-second lead as he dominates the end of the race here on Harrison Burton and the rest of the field behind him. Kyle Busch is going to win his 10th career Xfinity Series race at Texas. It'll be his 6th win on this custom schedule Xfinity Series Championship Mode season. Kyle Busch wins again at Texas. Big win in the points. The regular season point standings, that is. As far as those implications go for Kyle Busch, a well-deserved win. He led over half the race. It has been a very competitive season. Busch has had good luck, and he's had bad luck throughout the course of the season, and consistency is the only reason he is not in the lead in the regular season standings. But what we can count on, Kyle Busch and Austin Cindric have finished each of the first 13 races. They have both gone halfway through the regular season, no DNFs. And that is why they are the top 2 in the point standings right now. And there is Kyle Busch in victory lane here in this one. Harrison Burton had the fastest lap of the race with a 29.667. Kyle Busch led 132 of the 200 laps in tonight's race. Started 29, finished first. Remember, he had that terrible qualifying run. Good thing we tightened the car up. We were way too loose in qualifying. Chase Briscoe started 5th, finished in 35th. He DNF'd a lot earlier in the race as well here in this one. 6 drivers finished on the lead lap. Riley Herbst went a lap down right at the start-finish line by a nose there. So that kept him back in 7th, finishing 1 lap down. Or I should say 8 cautions total in the race here tonight. So you take a look at your top 10 and then the rest of your finishing results. Kyle Busch with the win. Harrison Burton 2nd. Points leader Austin Cindric will hang on to the points lead with a 3rd place finish here tonight. But Busch does close the gap slightly. That leaves Austin Cindric now with a 21-point lead on Kyle Busch. 3rd place in the point standings, Michael Annett finishes 4th. Ryan Sieg 5th. Alex LeBay 6th. Riley Herbst 7th. Anthony Alfredo 8th. Brandon Jones 9th. And Noah Gragson rounds out the top 10. And we'll take a look at who all DNF'd. Again, 8 cautions today. 5 drivers failed to finish the race. Jeffrey Earnhardt, David Starr, Josh Williams, Chase Briscoe, and Brandon Brown with that horrific accident back on lap 5 in the race off of turn 4. So that is going to do it here for this one. Again, subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. Hit that like button down below if you enjoyed the race, the commentary, the video in general. Again, full race live streams on the daily. NASCAR video games. And we got realistic broadcasts to go along with those full race live streams. More NASCAR videos coming out tomorrow. We'll be streaming Indianapolis, the Brickyard for the Xfinity Series next race of the season. Not sure on the start time on that one, so also hit the bell notification. And keep a close eye on when we could possibly be streaming, because it should be another good one. We've had nothing but good ones for the Xfinity Series so far. So have a good night, everybody, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.